So Martha, today we are going to interview you for the startup success and how you have founded Binom Architect. And I'm very proud to announce that when I Google it, I found your name first. That is coming on the top list, Binom Architects, Martha Grandanistel.
Thank
And
you.
it's a very good, I have gone to website and then this is the second page is coming, which is very well designed. Being a software engineer, I can say that design is very good. And then on front page, this lovely architect, we can correlate. So I'm very proud to connect with you, and I just want to have a very small interaction with you. So couple of questions
Sure.
which you can answer today. Okay, so my first question is quickly, how you thought to start this architect business and what was your trigger point?
So I have to be honest, since I was studying at university, so when I was training, I always wanted to create my own firm, but also I knew I needed some experience before that, working for someone else to learn a little bit the business side. So what I did is I finished university and I moved to London. I worked for a couple of architects, and then the trigger was I was in this architecture office where it was very experimental, but it was very difficult to get things built. So after 4 years, I was getting bored of experimenting a lot on digital software, but nothing was getting built. And I had this urge of creating my own ideas and seeing them built. So I started doing some competitions on the side, and we won a little competition. And that was a trigger for me to just say bye-bye and started working on these very small projects. And at the same time, I was offered to teach at university as a part-time project, which was good finance at the beginning as well. So it all happened at the same time. But the trigger for me was that I always felt this urge of being an entrepreneur. At the same time, I was starting to get bored in my office, and I thought it was a good moment.
Wow. Okay. So when we start any business and we start up, the first point which we all concerned about how to manage money. And you are a woman and you started this very adventurous project. So how you managed your first seeds, first fund to start this such a good project, which I can see on the screen, very fabulous architectures. So how you started with the first funding?
You mean how we manage internally our finance, you mean?
Yes.
Well, it's a careful balance between, I know Professor John Mullin said that architects are very often, as well as other consultants, are very, very often customer funded, which is true for some type of projects, but we do lots of experimental projects which we win through competitions, public competitions launched by public authorities, or private competitions where we get invited by private companies. So 50% of those projects, no one pays you for the proposals. So we need to very carefully manage these customer-funded projects to finance the research and development, which in our case is participating in these competitions. Then we win a few percentage of them that reverts back into the office. So it's this constant flow and balance between different types of projects, and many of them have very different type of income for us. Also staging, negotiating good payment terms, trying to get front-loaded the fees, which again depends. It depends a lot whether it's residential or commercial, whether we are working in UK or we are working in Spain, or we work in Norway for a while as well. And the culture of paying in different countries is very different. So it's a careful balance of everything. And in our case, is trying to have cash reserves for when we feel we need to invest on something, like open a new market, again, investing on meeting clients or doing competitions, or for just keeping some cash for when the crisis comes, or if we get delays in payments. So I would say it's careful balance, but because I'm doing the MBA only now, and I've been doing this for 10 years, I feel we learned by doing, by instinct, because we didn't really know. I had never been trained about any financing or managerial accounting or anything like it. So it's been a bit of an instinct behavior.
Okay, that's good. Even you are doing MBA right now, but without doing MBA, you are setting an example for so many business aspirants to come and learn how somebody can grow a business, and that is like inbuilt skill and wisdom which you have reflected. That's very good, fantastic. So
thank you. Yeah, I think also
yeah.
you need to be prepared for risk. And you need to be very resilient. But if you have trust and resilience and you are prepared to fail and get up and keep walking, then eventually it works. So, I mean, we made a lot of mistakes financially, as you can imagine, because as you said, we were not experts at all, and we didn't have the proper assessment or advice. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes, and luckily it was not disastrous. So, yeah, we got here.
Good, very good. So if we talk about the global statistics, normally a startup is a very risky thing, and that's what maximum of our graduates, they go for job, but you came out of the track and you started this startup. So out of 4, we can see only 1 startup is going to be very successful. Otherwise, these are just running or not able to see the very good sunshine. So at any point of time, have you ever thought to quit the business and start a job, or due to lack of crisis or any other reasons, have you ever thought to stop your business?
To exit, you
Yes,
mean?
yes.
No, never.
Okay.
No, I'm now thinking, I mean, for a long time, for a couple of years now, actually, since Brexit hit us quite badly because of the type of clients we had. What we've been looking for is diversification, so opening new markets in different countries, as well as trying to complement these type of job we do with other type of businesses, but not stopping what we do, but complementing with something else, which may be, I don't know, real estate. And now I'm thinking more into tech design. But I always see it as a complement. I don't see it as an exit. And during all these past years, I never thought about stopping now.
That's lovely, and we really respect your feelings, your decision-making power, that you never face such a bad feelings in life. That's very good. I'm going to see one more strong point with you. As a woman, you are setting an example to come out of that box, that a woman is doing a co-founder or founder. So you are the role model of so many women. As a woman, have you faced any challenge uh, in setting business or doing meetings or starting? Because now this is the week, inclusion week started. Maximum corporates are celebrating inclusion week, and I'm very happy to interview in this inclusion week. So as a woman leader, have you ever faced any challenge or gender discrimination, or any feeling, if you have, like, want to share with the women leaders?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I have never experienced it. I may have been lucky because I know it's very common. I have never experienced inequality myself. I have to say, during the years I was working for another practice, I always worked for practices which were run by men, but they were very, very inclusive, open-minded. I was one of the very few ladies working in the practice, funnily enough, but I was never treated different. So then when I started my company, I did it with my partner, and it may be perhaps, it may be a situation, it may have been different if I had been on my own. Obviously, to key meetings is both of us going, and I've never felt they were only talking to him or stuff like that. But I don't know what would have been the case if I had been on my own. So I've been lucky, but that's not normal. I know many cases where my colleagues have been treated unfairly, salary gap, and it's just harder. But it may be the case in bigger companies. I always tended to work in smaller companies. I always had a very small company. Obviously, within my company, we always treated everyone very fairly, and that's at least that's our mission. And very often it's a majority of females in my team. Yeah, so luckily for me, I cannot give you examples.
No, that's very good. Absolutely fine. And thank you so much for this. Actually, this is going to be a very inspirational speech for so many women leaders. And particularly, I belongs to India, and I have lived in a couple of other countries like Mexico and America, and then UK. Now I'm living. I see a lot of women. They are coming and setting examples in leadership, and so many corporates are coming with those things. And inclusion week, as we discussed, this is one of the very good concept running and going on. So I really appreciate that. And the best part you have mentioned, this is the message for coming women leader, that if you are going to work like Martha, you are not going to face any discrimination and any challenges if you are firm in your decision. I think you are agree on that, Martha, right? Okay. Any last question, not to take much time. Any learning to new startups you would like to share? Those who are young graduates starting new business, or people like who are already doing 5 years, 10 years job, but they don't want to do startups. So any learnings you want to share in?
Yeah, I think my main, my two tips or pieces of advice would be trust yourself. If you truly trust yourself and your ideas, you can be resilient, and you need to be resilient because you're going to fail many times, but that's good. And this is something I learned with the time, that every time I failed, it was actually great. Looking at it retrospectively, obviously, because I really learned a lot, and many times the lesson learned applied later resulted in a much better experience or project or whatever. So learn from mistakes is something that is very often said, but when you experience it, you really understand it's true. So be resilient, be prepared to fail. You will fail, and that will be good. You just need to get up and keep walking, and work a lot because it's not an easy life. You actually never stop working. The very good thing is that you have a lot of freedom and autonomy, but you don't stop work. So you need to love it. You need to be passionate for success.
That's very lovely. So the message is, in conclusion, like, you should work hard. You should try to uh, work hard, and you should try to be resilient, and you should try to be optimistic. That is what we can say from the message from Martha.
Yeah.
As viewers can see, this is the website, and Binom Architects already available in Spanish and English. You can see it. And I'm lucky one that I can speak poquito Espanol, but good English. I wish you very good luck. And Martha, we are going to see this Binom Architect in major languages of the world soon. We want to see you down the line 10 years, one of the main successful architect in the field. And I hope you very, very good luck and wish you to have this website in all the major languages.